What's up, guys? We're back with the Fred Factor. If this is the first time you're joining us, we're already in Chapter 2, so be sure to check out Chapter 1 and The Forward by Mr. John C. Maxwell. However, if you are with us and you're joining us, we read one chapter a day, every single day. Fuel for the brain. All right, let's check it out. Chapter 2 is called The Fred Principles. Good chapters. So we learned about the postal gentleman, Mr. Fred. Now we're talking about what Mr. Mark Sanborn learned from him, right? So the Fred Principles opens up with my boy Abraham Lincoln. Whatever you are, be a good one. Love it. So it talks about chapter 2, principle 1. Everyone makes a difference. It basically says that no matter how big or how small you think you are, you do make a difference with where you work. You do make a difference at what you do. Only the employee can choose to do his job or her job in an extraordinary way, regardless of the circumstance. How many people do you know do whatever they do, and they only half ASS it? They only half, it's like they're in the motion, they do it, right? So if they're at the gym, they're there, but they don't really do it, right? Versus people who are at the gym, when they're there, they beast mode, K-train, beast mode, and they just destroy it, right? Or at work, they don't want to be at work, so they're like, if they're a busser, server, cook, whatever the position is, post office person, they're like, I'm only doing this to get a paycheck. I only get paid hourly, so I'm just doing whatever I do. And this is basically saying that if you want to be great at it. Nobody can prevent you from choosing to be exceptional. So good stuff. This has been a really interesting read. There are no unimportant jobs. People who feel unimportant doing their jobs. Let me read that again. There are no unimportant jobs, just people who feel unimportant doing their jobs. Okay, that time I read it right. Let me do it again. There are no unimportant jobs, just people who feel unimportant doing their jobs. So really, really good. Principle 1, everyone makes a difference, right? Principle 2, success is built on relationships. I like it because it's saying that anybody could be a mail carrier, anybody could be a server, anybody could be doing basically any position there is. How many people on earth are servers? How many people on earth are motivational speakers? How many people on earth do whatever they do? Well, this is basically saying that success is built on relationships. How many times have you been to a restaurant and you like that restaurant? Let me phrase that. How many times have you been to a restaurant? The food was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great or anything. But the service was so good, and that's why you keep on going back to that restaurant. How many of us been to a really fine dining restaurant or whatever? You loved the food, but the service sucked, and then you never went again. That's basically what Principle 2 is, how I took it. Is success is built on relationships, and the relationships that you build with people, that's going to make the difference on whether or not people are going to look at your business as great, good, bad, okay, beautiful, or horrible. And then it goes into Fred is proof that in any job or business, relationship building is the most important objective because the quality of the relationship determines the quality of the product or service. That's also why leaders succeed when they recognize that their employees are human. Next part, technology succeeds. It recognizes that its users are human, and employees like Fred the postman succeed when they recognize their work involves interacting with human beings. So good stuff. Principle 3, you must continually create value for others, and it doesn't have to cost a penny. It's basically saying that you could be working somewhere, and even though you don't get paid more, if you treat the customer better, they see more value in you, and if they see more value in you, that technically does mean that you can stay longer at your position versus someone else. There's many examples that if people are like, I got fired from my job because they don't like me, or I got fired from my job because they were downsizing. The truth is, they might have been downsizing, but did they let go everybody, or were you just one of the people let go? It's probably because you were the most expendable, right? Expendables 5. You were probably the most expendable one at what you did, so that they didn't see the value in what you're doing. So principle 3, you must continually create value for others, and it doesn't have to cost a penny. And it was great because it was explaining that what if everybody that worked at every job went the extra mile and went above and didn't have to get paid more, and they did as much as they could regardless. They just kept on doing it. It just didn't matter. Can you imagine how many more people would be happy customer service wise? You know, imagine a restaurant. If every server in there was literally the best server, and every time you went in there, you're like, I don't even care who helps me, because every server here literally makes me feel like I'm home. They remember little things. They do these little things. They treat me well and all that good stuff. So that's what Principle 3 was talking about. Principle 4, you can reinvent yourself regularly. Principle 4, you can reinvent yourself regularly. I believe that no matter what job you hold, what industry you work in, or where you live, every morning you wake up with a clear slate. You make your business as well as your life anything you choose it to be. You know, this is one of the things that my mentor told me. There's no such thing as a bad day. They're just bad moments. But people take bad moments and they drag it to become a day, a couple days, a week, a month. You know, something happens 6 months ago and people are still harping about it because they just don't let go. One of the most influential quotes that I heard from a gentleman that was worth 9 figures, he said, if you don't let go of the past, you'll never get a hold of the future. Oof. You know, you can never reinvent. You can reinvent. I said you can never. This is saying you can reinvent yourself regularly, right? So that's Principle 4. And then, believe it or not, that's it. This is an awesome book because if you're doing this with me, you're never going to read more than, I mean, even if you're like me and you're a novice at reading, you're just not good at reading. Honestly, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. This is going to take you 5 minutes, max 10 minutes to get through each chapter. Remember, no need for more than 1 chapter a day. 1 chapter a day, and let's just do it every single day. So again, Chapter 2, the Fred Principles. Principle 1, everyone makes a difference. Principle 2, success is built on relationships. Principle 3, you must continually create value for others, and it doesn't have to cost a penny. And last but not least, Principle 4, you can reinvent yourself regularly. Hey, if anything I said you don't agree with, or if anything I said you saw in a different way, leave comments below. I'd love to see how you interpreted Chapter 2 of The Fred Factor by Mr. Mark Sanborn. And information below in the description box, all my info, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me, find me, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for Chapter 3.